jobs, and so, but those are things you can control, and keep a positive attitude doing it. You know, learn from your mistakes, and stay positive with it.
Good morning, Kansas City. This is the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's Thursday, December 7th, 2023. Stephen St. John, Nate Bukaty, and Jake Gutierrez. Coming up on the show, we're going to talk to Bill Brandmeier about a big event he'll be co-hosting with Nate Bukaty coming up, unless I got that wrong. Those are the facts that were given to me, and I'm not checking them. North Carolina State football coach Dave Dorn will be with us at 7 o'clock. His team will take on Kansas State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl coming up down in Florida. So we'll talk to Coach Dorn at 7 o'clock. Adam Kaplan, our NFL insider, at 7:30. Then we're going to have Gary Dieter and Anthony Sherman. Gary Dieter will be in studio. Anthony Sherman will be on the phone. And then Jesse Newell from the Kansas City Star in studio in the 9 o'clock hour. So lots of stuff there for you between now and 10 o'clock. Also, we have plenty of sound from out at Arrowhead Stadium. Andy Reid spoke to the media, and also Patrick Mahomes. You heard a couple of those clips there at the beginning of the show. We'll also hear some clips from rookie left tackle Wanye Morris, cornerback Trent McDuffie, and defensive lineman Mike Dana. So you got all that and more coming up between now and 10 o'clock. Some more stuff happened yesterday with Kansas State. That was a hell of a news cycle for Kansas State yesterday, between losing offensive coordinator Colin Klein to Texas A&M to now apparently Naquan Tomlin will no longer be on the basketball team, dismissed from the team. K-State AD Gene Taylor announced in a statement on Wednesday. Averaged over 10 points a game last year, started 36 games. In late October, Jerome Tang had announced that Tomlin had been suspended for not living up to expectations we require of our players after his arrest for disorderly conduct, brawling, or fighting at a local sports bar. And he hasn't played this season, and the school has offered no specifics about the suspension. So, K-State fans were not happy last night. On his Instagram story, and one of his Instagram stories last night, Tomlin posted, "But I want to be free, free, free." Lyrics from Denise Williams' 1976 song "Free." So, what are you laughing for?
I'm not laughing.
Sure you are.
The way you read it was...
How would you like me to read that?
I don't know. You had a smirk on your face when you read it.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
So, but I want to be free, free, free. Lyrics from singer Denise Williams' 1976 song "Free."
Right.
You hear from any of your K-State buddies?
Yeah.
What'd they say?
Everybody in Manhattan seems to be blaming the president.
Joe Biden?
No, not the president of the United States.
I was to say, that's weird.
Well,
Right.
the presidents seem to get blamed for a lot of things, you know.
Okay. You got to
So
specify,
that's a
bro.
tough job, you know. People
Right.
blame you for everything,
Right.
whoever you are, if you're the president. But no, it seems to be that the overriding thought by the people in Manhattan that cover K-State athletics, they all seem to be pointing at the president of the university on this. And I asked, well, why? Why would the president force this decision on Gene Taylor and Jerome Tang? And nobody really seems to have an answer for that.
A Well, I sure don't. In a statement, Taylor said the school cannot discuss details because of federal privacy laws. And he added that the school wants to protect Tomlin. I have been monitoring the situation and overseeing the suspension with Coach Tang's involvement, Taylor said in a statement. While we cannot share the specifics that have led to this outcome due to the reasons stated above, KC Athletics can now share that Tomlin will no longer be able to continue with the men's basketball program. The decision was not made lightly by me, but it is the decision warranted by the circumstances that brought it to bear.
I think that's the part that maybe should be underscored is the statement at the end there where he said, what was it, the circumstances to bear? It was warranted. The decision was warranted.
It is the decision warranted by the circumstances that brought it to bear. That's the song he referenced. So what else did your KC guy say? I'm not privy to that perspective like you are.
Well, really, my buddies from K-State don't really claim to know any inside information. They're just telling me what all the coverage is saying. And when you look at a lot, like I said, so I started reading what a lot of the people said. There seems to be this I mean, like, I guess I could say, like John Kurtz, for example, who's a person who spends a lot of time on Twitter, covers K-State,
he gets into it with a lot of people on Twitter from what I've seen.
Yeah. That Derek Young, who I talked about the other day, he covers K-State. His tweet said, obviously it is known that Gene Taylor and the Kansas State Athletic Department put out a release that the indefinite suspension of Naquan Tomlin is now permanent, but it is rich because it was a decision by the school president that chose to have others fall on the sword for him. I saw a lot of posts like that, like, hey, this is the president making this decision and forcing Gene Taylor to put out a statement. I have no idea if that's true or not. I have no idea why. So my question was why? Why would the president do that? You know, and nobody seems to have an answer for that. So I just wonder. We don't really have the details of what happened, right? We know he got in trouble, but the details, from what I understand, we don't really know. So
they're out there if you look.
Yeah. There were protests, right, at the president's residence last night from some of the students at K-State. They were upset.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it has been weird the way they handled it. But let's see, Ryan Gilbert, K-State basketball recruiting editor for Go Power Cat. I've kept my opinions to myself tonight. However, I can't help but say this. The incident happened back in October. Why did it take Linton until December? Coincidentally, when students started to finally push back to dismiss Tomlin. Pretty cowardly, if you ask me. And then I saw Tim Fitzgerald retweet a K-State guy that said, I think I can speak for the entire fan base when I say we love Gene Taylor, Coach Tang, and Coach Kleiman. We have their back at all costs, and anyone who's undermining them and interfering with their ability to run their administration and programs the way they see fit needs to go, especially in the name of a fragile ego. That person is unfit to lead, period. And Tim Fitzgerald retweeted that, so.
Seems pretty clear that President Linton is the least popular person on campus in Manhattan right now.
Right. And this on the same day that they found out Colin Klein was leaving for Texas A&M. That's, you know.
Yeah.
It's a rough 1-2 punch there.
Yeah. Went from Jerome Tang doing the Wabash Cannonball in the stands after a big overtime win to a pretty rough news day the next day.
Right.
Life comes at you fast.
Boy, looking forward to talking to Stan Weber tomorrow.
There's a lot to talk about.
Shed some light on this stuff. Yeah, I know it's not the popular thing to do, but maybe everyone should just wait till all the story comes out
Yeah.
before you make any,
Yeah.
before you jump to the conclusions.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're telling me, or at least from what you're saying, people are unhappy or and mad at the president and everything else, and then within the same breath you say, we really don't know any details, do we? So.
That is not, like you said, that is not the popular way to go about things these days. Be patient.
I'm also not a K-State fan, so I'm not
Right.
furious today. So
Right. People are emotional.
Right.
I get that. But and I'll fully admit, some of these folks like Tim Fitzgerald and John Kurtz and Derek Young, they all probably know more than I do. But so I wouldn't sit there and like you said, we don't know all the details. And until you do, it can be kind of dangerous, I think, to have real strong opinions about things like this.
The whole thing has been somewhat bizarre
Yeah.
from the beginning. So
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously the implication by people that once the heat started getting turned up, the fans started chanting about, free Naquan during the game the other night, and then the protests and everything. The implications being made that that's what forced the president's hand here, or the president decided to make this happen. Well, maybe that's true, maybe that's not.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, who has to make this decision at the lowest end?
oh, I just saw someone.
Like, isn't that Coach Tang? Or
A K-State
AD?
person in the media that I won't mention, tweeted out that trying to get K-State fans to band together and let President Linton know what he is doing to the basketball program is unacceptable. Here's his office number and his email.
Oh, boy.
So this doesn't seem like ends well for anyone. Or does it?
I don't. Well, what's a good ending? I mean, like what's a good outcome at this point? That probably.
Well, that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about what's that going to do? Harassing the president, and I don't know, man.
It's messy. It's real messy.
Well, we'll talk more about that later, and we'll talk a lot about it a lot with Stan Weber. And I don't know how much Stan can say, but at least he'll have I think a better perspective than we will. What were you going to say?
I mean, I was just thinking more about the statement put out by Gene Taylor. And in his own statement, he says the circumstances warranted this outcome. Now maybe
But why did it just now warrant this outcome? Why is it taking so long?
Maybe they found out some information that they didn't know before. Maybe they were still trying to get the details, but because there's so much pressure, they feel like they can't wait any longer to make their final decision. But either Gene Taylor is saying something he doesn't believe in that statement,
And that would be a problem.
or that part of his statement should be remembered.
I mean, ultimately, I don't know. I can only speak for myself, right? But if I don't believe something, I'm not going to say it, even if my job is at threat.
Well, you could put a statement out that says this is what we're doing, without saying this is warranted. You could just say this is what we're doing,
Right.
and keep your comments to yourself about if your opinion is different.
And I think that's kind of where I was going with.
Yeah.
Like, who makes this decision at the end? I'm sure, like, it was a group decision. Like, there were, but at the end, the AD and the coach make this decision. You know, whether they're forced into doing that or not, you know that. But I think both those guys would have enough clout if they really truly believe this was the wrong thing. They would stand up for that. I don't know.
Maybe.
So it's interesting that the president's getting all the heat, from my perspective. Like, it's the whole group making the decision.
Well, he could force it on the other guys. I mean, right?
You would think so. Now, if he said to Gene Taylor, if you don't do this, you're fired, what would happen? I don't know.
I mean.
Like, yeah, like
ultimately,
because you can make decisions professionally where you say, well, then fire me.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
And then there would be, I don't know.
then what's the fallout? Because Gene
Right.
Taylor's got to be. I mean, Gene Taylor's done, by all accounts, an incredible job at K-State, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody
A pretty infallible job.
has a problem with much of what he's done there.
So do all these K-State people that are arguing about this know what happened? Know all the details?
I don't know,
Are
man.
they saying, here's the details, here's what, he should not be kicked off the team? Or are they saying, we have no idea what happened, he shouldn't get kicked off the team? Because it's, how can you say that if you don't know what happened?
That's what I think is a little dangerous.
But if you know what
Maybe they-
happened, that's
maybe
what I'm
they
asking.
do,
Is anyone
yeah.
saying what happened? Like,
I haven't seen
lot
anybody.
dangerous.
anyone saying, hey, I know what happened, and this should not equal being kicked off the team?
I've not seen anybody say that.
Nope.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, what I've seen people say is Gene Taylor and Jerome Tang were okay with him coming back. It's the president that didn't want him to come back. It's his fault. But I haven't seen anybody say this is what happened, or I know what happened, and therefore this is wrong. He shouldn't be getting kicked off the team. Because I haven't. But maybe I'm not. You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm plugged into.
Well, I haven't kept close tabs on this because I just assumed he was going to be back at some point.
Yeah.
And every time they would ask Jerome Tang about it, he would say, you know what, we're just going to keep loving him up and coaching him on and off the floor, you know, just saying all the right things but not giving any specifics and not telling you when he's going to come back. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's off the team. So
Yeah.
it was a story. Now it's a
Big story.
because he's off the team. Mm-hmm. And everyone's pointing the finger at the president of the university. And I'm just curious, like even for the people that you talk to, your K-State people, and does anyone say, oh, hey, I've heard what happened, and it's, or either way. So I would find it hard to make an argument if I didn't know the details of what happened.
Yeah, because what if something comes out that makes you go, oh.
But it doesn't seem like this has been handled exactly the best way, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly
Well, got pissed off everyone is, you know?
Right.
Right? So, you want some better news?
Sure.
Do you have any good news?
Well,
I don't want to start the show in just such a negative tone and then go to break.
go ahead.
Oh, if you have something,
really.
something you're excited about.
Royals
guess
made a couple moves yesterday,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
What?
sorry.
Hello. What happened? Are you really excited? I mean, if there's something you're excited about, then say it. Don't say Royals made a couple.
Well, they made a couple moves. No,
Is there something that caught your eye?
No.
About those Royals.
Why not?
I don't know.
You don't like the Rule 5 kid?
I don't know anything about him. I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah, maybe he'll be great. Seen Rule 5 guys be successful before. Joaquin Soria.
Brad Keller?
So, but I just don't know.
The Royals compared him a little bit to Brad Keller.
Okay.
They made a trade with the Astros.
Yep.
So was there anything that caught your eye there? Nothing?
Kansas hired a soccer coach a couple days ago that I'm excited about. From Xavier. Been very successful there.
Do you remember when we were in a commercial break yesterday after we were talking about Colin Klein going to Texas A&M?
Yeah.
And I told you, I said something. I said, well, all I want is this. And I said a name, and you go, who's that? And I said, it's this really good corner that's in the transfer portal. Toriano Pride. who was a 4-star, highly recruited corner out of St. Louis that Mizzou was in on out of high school, but then he went to Clemson, and he played 2 years at Clemson. But then he entered the transfer portal and immediately said that he did not want to be contacted by coaches, which I told you indicates he already knew where he was going.
Missouri.
How do they already have a picture of him in the uniform?
I don't know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Can't trust anything you see on the internet these days.
Or you can trust everything.
Tyler. What do you think Tyler in South Carolina thinks?
He's probably pissed off at this. Steve Wiltfong
Oh, Steve.
from 24/7 Sports
Steve.
says the number one cornerback in the transfer portal, former Clemson corner Toriano Pride, is committed to Mizzou. 24/7 Sports college football analyst Carl Reed said they're getting a kid with NFL ability. Reed was also Pride's high school coach through his junior year. He's going to be able to step in and start immediately, and they get a local hometown legend that's coming home. And this is significant because even Eli Drinkwitz said this in a recent interview about the transfer portal. He was pretty open. He said, "Look, we'll be on the search for some corners because they're starting corners. Ennis Rakestraw and Chris Abrams-Drain, CAD for short. He's first team all SEC, by the way. But both of those corners are expected to be drafted into the NFL. So you lose both those guys. You're going to lose 2 NFL corners. And so that was, top priority. Defensive line also, but top priority in the transfer portal was getting a corner. So according to 24/7 Sports, they got he's either ranked number 1 or just, one of the top corners. And we talked about this the other day. That's something the coaches have to be open to with the transfer portal. If you miss on a hometown kid the first time, be willing to get him on the rebound. Mm-hmm. They pursued him out of St. Louis the first time. He goes to Clemson. You lose out to Clemson. After 2 years, things aren't going quite as well at Clemson as they were when he went there. Things are going a lot better at Mizzou than they were when he came out of high school, and there's immediate openings for starting cornerbacks. So, how about that?
The rebound.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that excites
These
me.
are our guys right here.
Does that excite you?
Well, no, it doesn't excite me. Why
Why?
would it excite me?
We want all the programs to do well.
Well, sure. I'm excited for you.
There you go. We're
I'm
excited.
excited. I'm
the coach
excited
drink.
because I'm hoping that we get another phone call to the coaches show in Clemson,
Yeah.
wanting to know, hey, how come you're making so much money, coach, when you can't
Right.
even hold on to your corners?
By the way, I need to find out where that audio is.
Who told you, Tyler?
Well, I'll find it. Isn't that funny that I said I want
Yeah.
I want him, and then
You
a
want
day
it.
later we got him.
You want it, you got it. It seems
Yeah.
to be the way things are going right now for you as a Missouri
No,
fan.
not always, but
At least in football.
in that specific case,
Of course, you wanted 18.5 points this weekend, too. I don't know what you're getting
I
there.
want more. If I'm gambling with you, I want more than that. 20 and a
Losing
hook.
too many bets around here.
Yeah,
Still not seeing a line on that game yet.
that's a good one. That's a big deal, though, buddy.
Hey, good for you, man. I
Yeah,
know what
I
it's
miss
like
them.
having top-class corners. I mean, at Kansas, we've had these incredible 2 corners this year. It's been
I
awesome.
know, right? That's
Yeah,
one of the strengths of Mizzou's team.
yeah. It's a passing game these days, this football. You get some good corners, it's important.
Well, that sort of spread some good news. Enough negativity.
We're going to have some positivity coming up here in the next segment, aren't we?
Right in your face.
Right in your face.
Who's this young man that's sitting in there with you?
Oh, this is Logan.
What's up, Logan?
Logan looks like he desperately wants to leave.
If you were locked in a room
just
with me,
be someplace
wouldn't
else.
you look like that
Yeah,
too?
he didn't realize what he signed up for, did he? What, job shadow?
A winter intern.
Prospective intern?
Ooh, winter intern. Winter interns, that's a unique position.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a break now. Enough negativity from Nate and his K-State text thread. Back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Hello there, Kansas City. Stephen St. John here for my friends at Pajamagram. How can you score big this holiday season? I'm talking about a touchdown. Take it to the house. You know how? Pajamagram. This, if you've never given your special someone a gift from Pajamagram, get ready to give the best Christmas gift that you've ever given your special someone. They will love it, okay? They're so good. Pajamagram's famous naturally nude pajamas, they'll make you a holiday hero. And they're so good they sell out every year, so don't wait. Naturally nude pajamas are known for ultimate comfort and style, soft and silky, better than lingerie with a curve caressing fit. I've purchased them for my wife before. She loves them. I love them. You'll love them too. Not on my wife, your wife or girlfriend. Okay? Watch your mouth. When you order naturally nude pajamas, how about this? You'll get a free naturally nude nightie. That's $75 in savings on a very luxurious 2-in-1 complete gift. And better yet, with Pajamagram, you can even add gift packaging. That's one easy holiday gift that's sure to make her happy. All right? We know how good it feels to win, so why not win this Christmas, this holiday season? Go to Pajamagram today for naturally nude pajamas before they sell out. That's naturally nude pajamas at Pajamagram.com. Pajamagram.com, and tell them SSJ sent you. We appreciate it. We have a lot to talk about. And again, I'd like to remind you that the first hour of the Border Patrol, it used to be on 38th the spot, but they left us, no longer. And so we have the first hour streaming live every morning, if Jake knows what's good for him, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. And that's brought to you by our great friends at Jay Rieger and Company. Jay Rieger's awesome. And also, Jay Rieger wants Mizzou fans to know that the excitement about the Cotton Bowl coming up can be celebrated even more with 6 columns straight bourbon whiskey, perfect for Mizzou tailgates, watch parties, and celebrations, made right here in Missouri, only from Jay Rieger and Company. Cheers to great whiskey, and cheers to Mizzou. We couldn't have a proper return of Jake Gutierrez without our friend Bill Brandmeier welcoming back to the family. Bill, what do you think of Jake being back there? Look at him.
Hey, I listened to your podcast where you had Marco on. I thought you handled it very deftly.
Who?
Yeah, I know. What? You know.
Oh, Marco.
Yeah.
I get it, yeah.
I actually really appreciated the way you handled it, Stephen.
Oh, well, thank you.
You showed him the grace and support that he needed to move on, and then brought back in the guy who
Right.
is the glue that holds this team together.
And look, eventually Marco will get out of jail and everything will be fine.
You know, Marco was there for me when I started Sharewaves. He was one of the producers that first helped me do some radio stuff around here. Found my way to, kind of show me where the bathroom was and got me, kind of figuring out what
Especially
was
for
up.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And as a young kid, you could see the talent and his desire to just serve and to be present and to give his talents. And
Sounds like you like him better than Jake, kind of.
But throughout that hour and a half podcast, off the mic is amazing, Stephen. And
thank you.
I was with Ben yesterday. He said there's over 3,500 downloads of that one episode.
Jake, did
You
know
should
that?
listen to Hot Mic. It's even
Yeah.
better.
No, that's what I meant. Hot
Yeah.
mic. I'm sorry. My
Right.
bad.
But at the end, I say the microphone is off.
That's right. That's how he
Think
signs
about it.
off.
Hot mic.
I just want off the
Yeah.
mic might be a great podcast. I don't know.
Magic
I'm
mic,
not-
all of them.
right.
Well, I just I love having Jake back, and the energy that he's brought back, and the attitude of how he lives his life is present, and just even the way he came down and got me out of the front door. You could just tell that his presence is real, and he's brought back the same talent and with better energy, and it's incredible. And the one thing I noticed when Todd came in and started talking about the changes that have happened around here. The changes that are happening around 810 WHB over the last year and a half has been coming out of COVID and all the stuff we learned during COVID, what we could do as we bootstrapped this radio station through some of the hardest times we've ever seen as a radio station, and we've risen above it all, and now we're starting to add incredible, talented people. Bethany came on the podcast, talked about what she does here. Just amazing people coming together to do really great things. You can tell in the quality of your show, Stephen, and all the shows here around 810, where there's a bright future for what we're doing here around Sports Talk Radio.
More so this one though than
this one for
the
sure,
others, I would
Stephen.
Yeah.
So what? You've always got your hand in something. You've always got an event coming up.
Yeah.
Or you're just finishing an event.
Well,
but so this weekend you got something you're a part of that's a big deal in Kansas City.
Yeah, this is a little different for me, but I've been trying to raise money to help kids play sports for 5 years now. Part of my relationship with Sharewaves has been a partnership with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, where we provide game-changing grants for kids to play sports. They're direct impact grants, micro grants given to kids so they can pay for their league fees or get the right kind of equipment. We call them game-changing grants. We work them through Big Brothers and Big Sisters because they have these bigs that are pre-vetted, background checked. They show up for a reason, and they have an intimate knowledge of what a child really needs.
Nate used to be a big.
Well, being a big is
You know?
is a huge life-changing experience for someone who's ready to put themselves into the lives of a young person and mentor them through some hardships where they don't have a role model to be that person in their lives. And the Big Brothers and Big Sisters is the perfect model. The Michael Lawrence in Kansas City has the best Big Brothers and Big Sisters chapter in the nation.
Great people.
Incredible.
organization, one of the organizations I model Shareways after, trying to become a world-class organization. We're trying to help kids play sports, and through our game-changing grants, we're able to give kids sports. That started a relationship with Michael 3 years ago. He asked me to be part of his biggest fundraiser, which is this Saturday night at the Midland Theater. It's called Most Wanted. The Most Wanted is 25 community leaders coming together, each competing to raise as much money as possible, and they help you throughout the whole fall. It's a 5-month fundraising competition that is going on, where they give you different strategies to help try to raise as much money as possible to help kids connect to bigs, so bigs and littles can have an incredible relationship that goes on past their childhood and into adulthood. And the stories that come out of these relationships are transforming in a way that nothing else that is out there. It works so well when you have a big and a little come together and form a partnership, and then they go in through life and they just transform the child's life. It's amazing. And so I'm a part of it. And so the Big Brothers and Big Sisters event, Most Wanted, is Saturday night. And that's where all the 25 people come together and present their live auction items. And we raise as much money as possible. Last year, they raised $1.3 million. This year, we're going to try to beat that number. As a group, we are working together. As individuals, we're competing to see who can raise the most money. Jay Rieger, your sponsor for this morning's segment, they have a bunch of auction items up on the silent auction. The silent auction is 1,000 items, and you can get to the silent auction through the Big Brothers and Big Sisters website, bbbskc.org. Go to that page. Go to the top of the page. There's a banner that says Most Wanted Auction. You can go, and it'll take you right to the auction. It'll show you just one item after another that you can actually bid on and help us raise as much money as possible. Just one of the strategies that we use to raise money for kids.
I just did it. It was that easy. bbbskc.org, right there. Green banner that says view the items up for bid in our Most Wanted silent auction, and you can just bid from home.
Right. That's it. And
Nate wants to bid on this Morgan Wallen suite for 20. It's just over 20 grand. Nate's got that.
I got that kind of cash.
Deep pockets at MLS money he could throw around.
Yep.
And so maybe because he's a big country guy over here.
If you dig through that, there's some great deals. There's 4 season passes to Azure, if you like music, Azure Amphitheater. Noah Kahan, Hosier, and Green Day are all signed up to come.
So here's the deal. Hosier.
Yeah.
My son and his girlfriend traveled to. Did they go to Oklahoma City? Went to Oklahoma. They love Hosier and stood in line and everything else. I'm going to have to inform him of that one because he's already on me about tickets when he comes to Kansas City.
4 season passes to all their concerts.
Are you kidding me?
It's at $1,200 right now. It's a $6,000 package. So there's a lot of different values there. There's Jay Rieger whiskey out there you can get. There's tours of the Jay Rieger facility.
What's the package that you have in the live auction? Because I do think Nate would legitimately bid on this.
Seriously,
I'm not even sure I believe you.
I am co-hosting a dinner, and I've got a chef.
Co-hosting with who?
With a gentleman who's won a few basketball games with the University of Kansas. His name is head coach Bill Self.
How about that over there? You
Coach
smart
Self
mouth?
has agreed to co-host a dinner with some of his former players. Mario Chalmers is coming back to Kansas City to be a part of that dinner, along with Brandon Rush, and his brother Kareem is going to be there. So we're going to have a little Mizzou Tiger representation at that dinner.
But Ochai.
And Ochai Abaji has agreed to be a part of that.
But Nate-
It's a mutually agreed upon date in April or May after the KU Jayhawks win the national title.
Do you need someone to just like moderate and get in there with a microphone? Nate, hey.
I would love that. Nate, always open invitation.
I've had dinner at Bill Self's house.
My good friend Brian Haney has agreed to be the MC. We do go down into the KU room at this house where the party's going to be at, and in the KU room, Brian Haney does a hawk talk with all the different guests that are there. It's a kind of a private fireside chat that's really special and cool, and one chance of a lifetime. And that's what you try to do with these live auctions. Is you try to put together a chance of a lifetime. You get people a little, drinking a little Jay Rieger, getting their heads a little lighter.
Get 'em loose.
Luckily, that's something I haven't had to do for a long time. But there are people out there that love Jay Rieger and love to participate in that kind of activity. And you get them a little ready to go, and they open up their wallets, they open up their hearts, and they bid high dollars for these kinds of packages. And this Bill Self package, it's a dinner. It's catered. It's got incredible guests. We're calling it a dinner with KU legends. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that will be only available to the live auction people who come to the sold-out Most Wanted event Saturday night at the Midland Theater. Starts at 6 o'clock, and we're raising money to help kids play sports in a way, because part of the money I raise is going to come back to funding game-changing grants next year so that more kids can play sports, and that's what Shareways is all about.
Will you sing at any of these events?
No singing on the air. My wife has told me I can't sing anymore. We did have an event with your son,
right,
where he
and your
performed
daughter.
live, and my daughter. It
Very
was a really
talented.
cool event.
They're both talented.
We're going to do it again.
They're more talented than we are.
They are so much more talented. That's one of the things I've loved about this experience that I want to mention before I get off the air is the opportunity to do something with your kids, to raise money, to show them how philanthropy works, to give them something, gives you something to connect with your kids about, just like sports does. Sports is a great way for parents to connect to kids. It's not something where you want to force your kids into sports or yell at them while they're playing sports. You want to be able to connect with your kids in so many different ways. And when our kids get older, Stephen, you have a 20-something, I got a 20-something. It's hard to connect with them. And my daughter and I have been able to work together to raise money for Big Brothers and Big Sisters as part of this Most Wanted campaign. And really appreciate you guys giving me a chance to come on the air and talk a little bit more about what I'm trying to do now and in the future. And that is using Sharewaves to help kids play sports.
And if you want to see this silent auction where you can bid on all these items, bbbskc.org, and then click on the green banner up at the top, and you could bid on the silent auction items. You have to be there at the event to bid on Bill's big item with Bill Self. And then tell people again where they can go to get more information about Shareways.
Well, they can go to the SharewaysFoundation.org website to get more information about Sharewaves, SharewaysFoundation.org. And they also can give Anya and I a boost and help our competition by texting BIGS to 243-725. If you text BIGS to 243-725, you'll get a link, and you'll be able to donate straight to our team page. We're competing against 24 other people. Christian Okoye is one of the people who's in town this weekend to help us raise money for kids. He's a big advocate of helping kids in different parts of his life, and we really appreciate him coming back to be a part of this.
Text BIGS, B-I-G-S, to the number 243-725, and then you could donate directly to Bill and Anya's team. Is that right?
That's it. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you for
Thanks,
coming in,
Nate.
Bill.
Love you, Nate.
Seen a lot of John Bukaty paintings on the auction item list. Also, a 150-ounce big-ass candle you can bid on.
It looked like there was a powder blue George Brett jersey autograph that I could bid on. So,
a lot of stuff there. A lot of good stuff.
It's Christmas, so somebody wants to get something for their favorite radio show host, and
bid.
Please do.
Yeah.
Feel free. We will take a break back after this on WHP.
Yep.
today, I'll be one of my favorite remotes of the year. No kidding. And then, no, Nate, you love it. You've gone out there when I've been at ADA fundraising.
Oh, yeah.
This is it. And if you've been waiting, I've had actually a bunch of people email me, hey, when is it? When's it happening? It's happening now. 5 days only. Thursday, which is today, Friday and Saturday, and then Monday and Tuesday. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. starting today. Jerseys, mini helmets, baseball photos, mystery bags. Have players you want, current Chiefs players, NFL Hall of Fame Chiefs players. Thousands, literally thousands of items no one else in town has. We're talking about thousands of helmets, footballs, all autographed, jerseys, photos of the top players. They got plenty of autographed stuff of quarterback one and of Taylor's boyfriend. You know who that is. Everyone on the defense. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvi, Vinny, Mizzou, K-State, KU. Last year was the biggest sale ADA's ever had. This year's going to be even bigger. And so if someone on your shopping list loves sports, loves collectibles, got a man cave, woman cave, whatever, ADA has to be your first stop. Don't overpay bidding on items on some fly-by-night website. Come see what you're buying and cross everyone off your shopping list for the holidays. So come out and see me today. I'm going to be there from 2 until 4 o'clock. ADA, they only open their doors once a year. This is it, opening the doors to the public. They've got Super Bowl 57 signed helmets and footballs and photos, authentic stuff. Mahomes, Kelsey, Pacheco, all the players you want. ADA, it's just off of 635 and 9 Highway, across the highway from Park Hill South. ADAfundraising.com. ADA Fundraising. And you know who's going to be there tomorrow, don't you? Luther Burden III.
Well,
LB3. All right? You down with LB3? Yeah, you know me.
well, you are.
Hell yes. Current Missouri Tiger, and as I talk this into his existence, future Kansas City Chief wide receiver, Luther Burden III. Woo!
You think just because you did that with Nick Bolton, you can do it with every Tiger
I
you
did it
want?
with Chase Daniel. I did it with Jeremy Maclin. I did it with Nick Bolton, and now I will do it with Luther Burden. I'm not a one-trick pony, baby. I make things happen.
You got a lot of tricks in
You
you.
better believe it. Saddle up. Smack me in the ass and I'll go running.
Hey, all right.
ADA fundraising today from 2 until 4. It'll leave you wanting more, but the doors are open from 10 until 7. You'll be in heaven. Let's go. ADA fundraising. I expect to see you there today. All right? And come bearing gifts, because I have the gift of wonderful items for you to purchase today at ADA fundraising. 2 until 4 today on Sports Radio 810 WHB.